Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, major archaeological finds reported at Sonantonich. Tourism development plan for protected areas in the Cayo district is launched, and BICOL's Public Participation Committee holds quarterly meeting in San Ignacio Town. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
The Men's World Championship Qualification Tournament for 2016 will be hosted in Belize, and the national channel owned on Central TV and Internet is going to be bringing all the action to you starting August the 14th to the 20th at St. Catherine's Primate Gym. This will be a historic event in Belize, so it will be Belize, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Dominican Republic will participate in a 7-day tournament, 3 matches per day to determine the 2 qualifying teams to the continental round. The top 2 teams of this tournament qualify to the continental round, for which the top 5 team goes to the World Championship to be held in Italy, Bulgaria. So it is the male national qualifiers live on the national channel only on Central TV and Internet. Tune in.
Everybody can see.
Kobe Entertainment and Princess Casino San Ignacio brings you the next launch, 6th anniversary. It's going down on Saturday, July 30th, and we're going hard, featuring the rulers of the West, the mighty Cloud9 Sounds, Eclipse Sounds, and all the way out of Cayman Islands, the juggling machine, Selector Renegade.
Renegade! I got broads in Atlanta. She's a Devine, the family.
Dropping bombs all night. Early entrance is a must. Enough giveaways and a door prize for a lucky winner.
Leave it by the door and come inside. Very fast.
Next launch, 6th anniversary party, Saturday, July 30th, inside the next launch. Come prepared to party on another level. Powered by Kobe Entertainment, Presidente, The Wine House, San Ignacio Hotel, Travelers Belizean and Fiesta Rum, Vinham, Mike's Place, and Princess Casino San Ignacio.
Make sure you cut this riverside good now. Knuckles down, I want it. And make sure I go see the river straight from the house, and I want one nicely area where we could picnic, you know. Then when you're done, you could start on the hill over there, so. See, I want it clean, so we could plant.
Yes, Pa.
Hey neighbor, I hear correct? You the peel by the riverside and over the up on that hill? Man, that will happen to you. You don't know about soil erosion? You don't know it's important for left one leaf buffer by the riverside with some trees and some shrubs?
Buffer for what?
Buffer for what? Boy, you see what they do? When it rain or when it dry, the soil wash away or turn loose, and wash away right into the river and cause pollution. And if the soil wash away, then you will lose some land too. And that the same thing on the hillside. When the rain cause the roots and the trees and the grass not there to hold the soil together, it just wash right down and come by your house like one landslide.
What? For true?
Yes man, I know I tell you no lie.
And how you know this?
From the Department of the Environment people, when they may come inspect one illegal dump.
Oh, I may think them people only look for them big resort. I never know that they look for all of that.
Oh yes man. They look for everything for the environment. Watch ya. They only help with take care of things, you know. But that we fit take care of things. Cause when things happen, that all of we get affected. Remember where they say happen? Why Kendall Bridge gone? That mistake of all of them big tree were cut down and drop into the river. You want it to happen again? Alright.
Help us protect the environment and our lives.
Here now is the news in details. There is exciting news coming out of the Institute of Archaeology tonight, and it involves the Sunantunich Archaeological Site here in the Cayo District. Director of the Institute of Archaeology, Dr. John Morris, this evening confirmed to TNC News that some significant discoveries have been made at the Sunantunich site that will mean a boon to Belize's cultural heritage, archaeology, and tourism.
We've been doing some work. In fact, we actually started in January of this year, but the work we had been doing was mostly to conserve some of the buildings that had eroded over the years, and we were trying to repair those. And then we decided to do a couple of excavations on some of the other buildings that we were going to set them up in order to do the conservation work. And in doing that, we located 2 hieroglyphic panels. And these tell a very fascinating story about intrigue in antiquity. Literally, it talks about the fights between the site of Sunantunich and Caracol, and the site of Naranjo in Guatemala, and the site of Calakmul in Mexico. So these were cities literally fighting with each other, and the hieroglyphic panel talks about the wife of the ruler at Caracol, Lady Bats Ek, and it also talks about who her father was, who was the ruler of Calakmul. And then the hieroglyphic mentions, the panels, they mention about the fight between Caracol and Naranjo, and Caracol defeating Naranjo, and then later on Naranjo coming back and beating Caracol, and then gifting these panels to the site of Sunantunich. That was a player in all the actions there. And that's one find. We also found a royal tomb at the site, just above the panels. It's one of the largest tombs ever found in Belize. In fact, I think if it's not large, it's the second largest. It's really 4 meters by 2.5 meters. So a male individual, 25 to 30 years of age. We think that he was the ruler at the site at the time, because that structure was literally built to encase his tomb. It's one of the first we've ever found. And this kind of resembles the stuff that is done in Egypt, where they actually build a pyramid to house a ruler or so. The third find that we is a graffiti room. We call it a graffiti room, but it's literally a room where Maya scribes, these are people who teach how to write and how to draw, would conduct their lessons, and the room is filled with all of the graffiti, sort of like having some people who come in to learn how to draw or how to write, and it's all covered. And in fact, they have panels literally in there. It's a large room, and a second room lies behind it, but we haven't finished the excavation as yet. So these are remarkable finds for us at Sunantunich and for Belize.
What is the significance of this archaeological find to this country?
Well, in some sense, for instance, the stories on the hieroglyphic panel, in fact, we have been looking for these panels for years now, because it had been recorded somewhere else that these panels existed. And for us to find them at Sunantunich, it's an incredible find. It's one of the best finds within the last 10 years in this area. The royal tomb at Sunantunich, again, royal tombs are not very easy to locate, and this is a remarkable find. The graffiti room, there is no other room like that in the entire Maya area. There's one in Tikal, but it doesn't even come close. This is one of the best finds. In fact, this find has led, my office is filled with calls from epigraphers and from other Maya researchers who want more information on this, because it is shedding new light on the history of the ancient Maya, and that is why it's important for Belize. Now, today I was up there, the amount of students and tourists and people who are coming to Sunantunich, this is a boom for Belizean tourism industry.
Now, in our modern times, we know that our books and other stuff that are written, it must be held or recorded in a way that it will be available for generations still to come. How do you preserve what was found today so that future generations can see and actually be able to read what's on those panels?
Well, we plan to, because if you leave them out, if you expose them to the natural elements, they will deteriorate. So we plan to remove the hieroglyphic panels, put them in the visitor room, create a story around them so that people can read what's on the panels. But then we'll also make replicas and put them in front of in front of the building, so that then people can see where they were before, and also have signage there to tell them what it was. We also are going to attempt something that we haven't done ever yet, and that is to recreate the royal tomb, so that then you can climb up the stairway and look down into the tomb. And hopefully we'll be able to do that. I have to find the funding.
The case of Rupert Miles, the man who was accused of destroying a portion of the Ushbenka archaeological site in the Toledo district, is finally coming to a peaceful resolution. Viewers will recall that over a year ago, the case exploded onto the national scene when Miles was hogtied by leaders of Santa Cruz Village in rural Toledo as they attempted to evict him from the site where he had taken up residence. After a protracted battle which included a group of Santa Cruz villagers being criminally charged and later had those charges dropped, the Institute of Archaeology today told the TNC News that the situation has been amicably settled.
Well, you know, these things take a while to resolve. I mean, I always prefer dialogue to confrontation, and we've dialogued over the months with Mr. Miles, because I hate to go to court and drag people through courts and all of that kind of stuff. And I am pleased to report that we are removing the structure. The structure is three-quarter dismantled, and hopefully by the end of next week we should have removed that structure from on top of the Maya platform.
Will he be expected to pay any compensatory thing to the community or to the archaeology department?
Well, we're not sure, because there have been a number of other instances around the country where people have built on Maya mounds. In fact, even within the community of Santa Cruz, over the last 10 years, 4 or 5 people have had to move off mounds. And in fact, I remember we had an issue with one Maya villager from Santa Cruz that lasted an entire year before he moved his structure off. So at the end of when we completed that cycle, we will assess the situation and then see what needs to get done.
In terms of the settlement, it seems to be amicable enough.
Yes, it is. I mean, like I said, if you sit down and you talk things, we are Belizeans and we are reasonable people. People say we are too reasonable. And we have sat down and spoken to Mr. Miles on a number of occasions, invited him up to the Department of Archaeology. We've been down there, and this is the end result, that you resolve a problem, you resolve an issue. Nobody has to be dragged to prison, nobody has to be hogtied, nobody has to be violently removed, you know. And I think that's the way in Belize we do. We talk, we resolve things, and we get things done.
During the entire episode, Rupert Miles had maintained that he had all rights to the area which he had inherited, or that should be inhabited, through family relations. The Public Participation Committee, a legally mandated body instituted as a result of the construction of the hydroelectric dams on the Macal River, held its quarterly meeting today in San Ignacio Town. Members of the PPC, which includes a staff of the National Channel, sat down to discuss various issues relating to the ongoing work of ensuring that systems and processes are adequate to keep the communities that would be most affected by a breach of any of the dams are kept fully informed. Today's meeting heard reports on various aspects of the work of the PPC and of BICOL's work in ensuring that communities are adequately informed and kept abreast of latest developments relating to water quality and safety measures. The PPC is chaired by the Department of the Environment and includes as members representatives of the Ministry of Health, the National Emergency Management Organization, and village leaders of communities along the Macal River. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of the day's stories for you right after these messages.
Everybody can see.
Kobe Entertainment and Princess Casino San Ignacio brings you the next launch, 6th anniversary. It's going down on Saturday, July 30th, and we're going hard, featuring the rulers of the West, the mighty Cloud9 Sounds, Eclipse Sounds, and all the way out of Cayman Islands, the juggling machine, Selector Renegade.
Renegade! I got broads in Atlanta. She's a Levine, the family.
Dropping bombs all night. Early entrance is a must. Enough giveaways and a door prize for a lucky winner.
Leave it by the door and come inside. Let me test.
Next launch, 6th anniversary party, Saturday, July 30th, inside the Next Launch. Come prepared to party on another level. Powered by Kobe Entertainment, Presidente, The Wine House, San Ignacio Hotel, Travelers Belizean and Fiesta Rum, Vinham, Mike's Place, and Princess Casino San Ignacio.
Let me test.
Hola, mi nombre es Vania Pat y les invito a la gran final del certamen Miss Queen of the West que se llevará a cabo en Sacred Heart Auditorium el 20 de agosto. No se lo fallen, comenzará a las 7 p.m. en punto.
Kendra Borland, 18 years old.
Rosanna Romero, 20 years old.
Tamika Armstrong, 20 years old.
Maria Act, 18 años de edad.
Jem Lyons, 20 years old.
Y también les quiero invitar para el grand launching of the September Celebration Calendar que se llevará a cabo el 6 de agosto en el Welcome Center y comenzará a las 6 p.m. en punto. No se lo fallen. Artistas como Ernestine estarán presentes.
Ernestine, and they call me Soca Queen. I love to shake up my waistline and drop it to the baseline.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. On Wednesday's newscast, we told you about the traffic incident in Ontario Village, which snarled afternoon traffic for a couple of hours. An official of the Belize Natural Energy Limited has confirmed that one of its heavy equipment, a crane, experienced mechanical difficulties around 1:24 yesterday afternoon. According to the information received from BNE, the crane was traveling towards Belmopan when it had the malfunction, which rendered it stuck across the George Price Highway near the Warri Head Bridge. BNE emergency responders arrived at the scene about 8 minutes after the crane broke down, and the company says that the Department of the Environment personnel were immediately informed of the incident. TNC News observed the officers from the DOE on site during yesterday's emergency. Also on scene was the Belmopan Fire Service, whose personnel assisted with securing the scene and helped with traffic control until the arrival of the police. The Tourism Destination Development Plan for Protected Areas in Ikayo District was launched this afternoon in San Ignacio Town. The initiative is being implemented with support from the Inter-American Development Bank. It is a bold initiative, and TNC News spoke with the director of the Policy and Planning Unit of the Ministry of Tourism, Juliet Neal, to find out more about the project.
Plan is a 5-year plan that was developed along with a lot of the stakeholders from Cayo, including the government stakeholders, the government departments, the Tour Guide Association, and basically it looks at the gaps that exist for those 4 protected areas and areas for development in tourism. What are some of the steps that we can take to basically ensure that it moves forward in the way that the community wants it to move, and it is also in keeping with the guidelines for protected area system, as well as including economic models to generate income to ensure that it's sustainable as we develop.
What is the input of the tourism partners in this area?
The tourism input, well, from a Ministry of Tourism perspective, we look at policy and regulation in terms of the Belize Tourism Board, which is our statutory board under the ministry. We look at marketing of the areas, product development, quality assurance, training, all of those aspects which come together to improve the whole product that is going to be offered. So in that regard, it has to do with regulations, policies, also in terms of capacity building and sensitizations of partners. So we all have to work together in that regard.
In terms of the dollars and cents, it takes money to implement this plan. Where is the money coming from, and how will that money be dispersed?
Well, as from our presentation, we do have a $15 million loan from the IDB, but this plan only takes, so the plan is a 5-year plan that talks about a lot more, and the interventions from the IDB speak to specific interventions, particularly for archaeology and some of the other protected areas in terms of hard infrastructure, and there are also elements which speak to training and capacity building as well. What we want to do with the plan is we want to work with other partners and look for opportunities for public and private sector partnerships and other financial models in which there can be investment. So this is just one drop in the bucket, but moving forward, because we've gotten all of this consultation from the different members, it means that now everybody's on the same page and there won't be dissent down the road, well, no, we didn't want this. So in having everybody in the conversation, it really helps us to move forward in looking for investments.
This plan covers areas in the Cayo district. Will there be other plans that encompasses other areas in other parts of the country?
Well, actually, for this, we got the support to do this plan from the IDB through a technical cooperation. So we have 3 other plans. There was one done for the Corozal district, there was one done for the Toledo district, there was one done for Keycaulker, and this is the 4th one. Similar to this exercise, we've also done 2 other launches, one which was in Corozal, and the last one we had was in Toledo, which was last week Friday. The one that's coming up is for Keycaulker, and that's on August 1st. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we're really hoping that the Keycaulker community comes out as well to learn how they can take part, who are their champions in the local tourism committee, what are the opportunities that are available for them, and how we can move forward working in tourism.
So in 5 years' time, our tourism product will be much better enhanced through these projects.
That's certainly our hope and desire. So I think that's the thing that everybody wants, but it takes time. So the way we see it is that if we have a plan, we can take it step by step and move towards whatever we need to do to get to the final product, which ultimately puts Belize at the top. I mean, we are one of the best places to live in this country.
Included in the project is a $2 million plan to improve the Caracol archaeological site, which falls under a sustainable tourism project. There was a shooting incident in Hattieville Village in the Belize district last night. The victim, 27-year-old Kieran Devon Moss, suffered a gunshot wound to the left leg. Police say that Moss told them that he was at home around 9:40 last night when there was a knock at his door. Upon opening the door, Moss says he was accosted by 2 men, one of whom carried a handgun. 2 shots were fired, injuring Moss in his left leg, after which the 2 men ran away. Moss was taken to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital in Belize City for medical treatment. Police say they have since detained 2 persons pending investigations. This is the news on the national channel. Stay tuned for a look at the weather. That's right after these messages.
Hola, mi nombre es Vania Pat y les invito a la gran final del certamen Miss Queen of the West que se llevará a cabo en Sacred Heart Auditorium el 20 de agosto. No se lo fallen, comenzará a las 7 p.m. en punto.
Kendra Borland, 18 years old.
Rosanna Romero, 20 years old.
Shamika Armstrong, 20 years old.
Maria Acton, 18 años de edad.
Jem Lyons, 20 years old.
Y también les quiero invitar para el Grand Launching of the September Celebration Calendar, que se llevará a cabo el 6 de agosto en el Welcome Center y comenzará a las 6 p.m. en punto. No se lo fallen. Artistas como Ernestine estarán presentes.
Ernestine, and they call me Soca Queen. I love to shake up my waistline and drop it to the baseline.
said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions. Walk into any one of our Central TV and Internet offices to get free installation, free modems, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether you're in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque, or give us a call toll-free at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
Everybody can see. Kobe Entertainment and Princess Casino San Ignacio brings you the next launch, 6th anniversary. It's going down on Saturday, July 30th, and we're going hard, featuring the rulers of the West, the mighty Cloud9 Sounds, Eclipse Sounds, and all the way out of Cayman Islands, the juggling machine, Selector Renegade.
Renegade! I got broads in Atlanta. She's the lean, the family.
Dropping bombs all night. Early entrance is a must. Enough giveaways and a door prize for a lucky winner.
Leave it by the door and come inside. Lorifest.
Next launch, 6th anniversary party, Saturday, July 30th, inside the next launch. Come prepared to party on another level. Powered by Kobe Entertainment, Presidente, The Wine House, San Ignacio Hotel, Travelers Belizean and Fiesta Rum, Vinham, Mike's Place, and Princess Casino San Ignacio.
A weak tropical wave will bring some overnight showers. Here is the forecast for Friday. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Francisca Wellington at the Belize Weather Bureau. To finalize the news, here are the main points again. Major archaeological finds reported at Sunantunich. Tourism development plan for protected areas in the Cayo district is launched, and Becol's Public Participation Committee holds quarterly meeting in San Ignacio town. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.